Hello, my Harmony heroes, and welcome back to the Music in Our Homeschool podcast. I'm your host, Gena Mayo. Today we're talking about something I think you will find very useful. It's probably on a lot of your minds. How to save money homeschooling music without feeling like you're cutting corners. Because let's be honest, homeschooling already requires us to be very thoughtful with how we are spending our money. Choosing our curriculum, buying supplies, investing in our children's future. Sometimes music can feel like one of those extra subjects that gets pushed aside because it seems like it's too expensive or too complicated to do well. But here's what I want you to hear right from the very beginning. You do not have to spend a lot of money to give your children a rich, meaningful music education. In fact, some of the very best musical experiences come from simple, consistent, low-cost habits. So today, I'm going to walk you through practical ways to save money, avoid unnecessary expenses, and still create a beautiful music-filled homeschool. If you are a homeschooler looking for ways to easily and affordably include a quality music education in your homeschool, you've come to the right place. This is the Music in Our Homeschool podcast. I'm Gena Mayo, homeschooling mom of 8 and music teacher for over 30 years. I'd like to start with a very important mindset shift. When we think about music education, it's easy to default to the traditional model of private lessons, expensive instruments, formal recitals, stacks of books, and sheet music. And while those things can be wonderful, and I do encourage them for some students, that is only one version of music education, and it's not what I encourage for most people. In the homeschool, we get to step back and ask, what do we actually want our kids to gain from a music education? Is it to have a love of listening, the ability to recognize instruments, exposure to beautiful works, confidence in singing or performing, creativity and expression? When you define your goal this way, you begin to realize something powerful. Many of those goals can be achieved without spending much money at all. Music education becomes less about performance and perfection and more about exposure, enjoyment, and understanding. And that shift alone can save you hundreds, maybe even thousands of dollars over the years. So before you spend any money on anything, pause and take inventory, because most families already have more musical resources than you even realize. Maybe you have an old keyboard or a piano, a guitar sitting in the closet somewhere, a ukulele from a past phase, maybe a box of rhythm instruments you bought when your kids were toddlers, or simply a device like your phone that plays music. Let's not forget, also, your voice is a completely free instrument. Singing together, whether it's folk songs or hymns or fun songs your kids already know, is one of the most powerful musical tools you have. And it builds so many foundational skills: pitch matching, rhythm, memory, language development, emotional connection. So before you think about buying anything, ask yourself, what can we use that we already have? We live in a time where music is more accessible than ever before. You can listen to world-class performances right in your very own living room for free. You can learn about composers in just a few clicks. You can explore different musical styles without ever leaving your home. Some simple budget-friendly ideas include watch performances on YouTube, listen to curated playlists from Spotify or your favorite streaming app, read composer biographies online, use free apps for rhythm or ear training, explore podcasts and audio resources, and don't overlook one of the best hidden gems, which you probably already know, your local library. You can find music CDs and audiobooks, DVDs of concerts and musicals, children's books about composers, even free access to online learning platforms. They might even have some instruments you can borrow. Here's the key, though. Don't overwhelm yourself with trying to use everything. Instead, choose one simple focus at a time. For example, this month we're going to listen to music by one composer. That's it. That kind of simplicity keeps things sustainable and affordable. By the way, if you want links to all the things that I'm mentioning here today on the podcast, be sure to click through to the accompanying blog post that you can find in the show notes or description. My next tip is to avoid the all-at-once trap. This is where a lot of money gets lost. It's very tempting, especially when you're excited about something new, to try to do everything at once, such as we should do piano lessons and music theory and composer studies and instrument exploration. And before you know it, you've spent a lot of money and created a schedule that's overwhelming and probably unsustainable. Instead, try this. Do less, but do it consistently. As you probably know, if you followed me for even a little while, I love 15-minute music lessons. You can find tons at my site, musicinourhomeschool.com/freebies. And if you do a 15-minute music lesson a day, that's consistency. That is sustainable. So pick one, maybe two areas to focus at a time. Maybe listening to great music and singing a folk song. One of my favorite courses is a folk song a week. Or maybe learning how to play the piano with some simple music theory that goes along with that. Or doing a composer study and drawing what you hear. When you slow down and simplify, you naturally spend less and your kids actually absorb more. Another tip is to choose multi-age reusable resources. One of the biggest budget savers in homeschooling is choosing resources that will work for your whole family and maybe for years to come. Instead of buying a separate music curriculum for your preschooler, then your elementary kid, then your middle schooler, look for ways to combine it. Music is uniquely suited for this. All ages can listen to the same musical piece or learn about the same composer or participate on their own level. That not only saves money, it builds family connection. And when you can reuse materials year after year or pass them down to younger siblings, that multiplies your savings even more. This is where my membership really shines, musicinourhomeschool.com/membership, because most of the lessons there can be used for your whole family. Next, let's talk honestly about private lessons. They can absolutely be amazing. I have had all my kids take private music lessons at one time or another, but they are also one of the biggest expenses in music education. So instead of asking, should we do private lessons or not, ask, when is the right time and the right approach for lessons? Here are some money-saving strategies. Wait until your child shows genuine interest. Start with short-term lessons instead of a very long commitment. You could even try a group class first. See if there's a homeschool co-op in your area that offers group guitar lessons or ukulele or recorder or singing. Look into online lessons too, which are often more affordable. Sometimes instead of having a one-on-one lesson, you could try a course to begin with. I have guitar time with Ben, bass guitar time with Caleb, and recorder time with Mr. Jerry that will get you started in those 3 instruments. And then take breaks during busy seasons if that fits better into your schedule. Some parents feel pressure to start lessons early, but waiting can actually lead to better focus, faster progress, and less wasted money. Another tip, rotate instruments and borrow when possible. It's easy to feel like you need to provide every opportunity for your children. I get it. I have felt that struggle too. But you don't need a piano and a violin and a guitar and a drum set. Instead, let your child explore one instrument at a time. Find out if you could borrow from friends or family or rent before buying. Look for secondhand options on Facebook Marketplace or your local pawn shop. There are so many gently used instruments out there, and many families are happy to pass things along. This alone can save you hundreds of dollars. And as I mentioned earlier, build a simple daily rhythm. This is where everything comes together, because the real secret to both saving money and succeeding in music education is this: consistency beats complexity every time. You don't need long lessons, elaborate plans, just a simple rhythm. That's it, 15 minutes a day. And over time, that consistency will create familiarity, confidence, and a genuine love of music without a big financial investment. One more thing I want to mention is to watch out for hidden costs. This is a tip that can save you a lot of money over time, because sometimes it's not the obvious costs that add up, but the hidden ones, like buying too many resources that you don't end up using, or switching curriculum too often, signing up your kids for lessons that they're not ready for, or purchasing instruments that don't get used. So before you spend, ask, do I really think we're going to be able to do this consistently? That's one question that can protect your budget more than anything else. Remember what really matters. At the end of the day, music education in your homeschool is not about doing everything and spending the most or achieving perfection, but it is about creating an atmosphere of beauty, giving your children meaningful exposure to great music, and building confidence and joy. And those things come from your time and your attention and your consistency, not from how much money you spend. So, if you've been feeling like music education is out of reach, I hope that I have encouraged you today. Begin with what you already have. Keep it simple and be consistent. And trust that those small, faithful steps are creating something truly valuable in your children. If this episode encouraged you, I would love for you to share it with a friend who might need this reminder today. And if you haven't followed or subscribed to the podcast, please do that right now. It will help us be able to reach more homeschoolers out there. If you're looking for simple, affordable, zero prep music lessons that actually fit into your real life homeschool, be sure to check out musicinourhomeschool.com/freebies or /membership. Until next time, keep listening, keep learning, and keep making music together. Bye-bye.